All right, today we're gonna be installing the motor. Here's the number one thing to make sure that this gets done right and you're not dealing with a big headache. It's taking the pulley off of your original motor. So before you drop your motor, you need to take the bolt off the pulley. Now currently I've already removed it, but it's just gonna be a simple bolt that's on top. And here's why it's tricky. Because it's a lot of force to take it off and you're fighting the wheel from spinning. So if I just put this here and I start spinning it, that wheel's gonna be spinning. So you're gonna need a buddy. I'm gonna be honest with you. Here's how I took it off. I had the brakes zip tied on because this has to be depressed because someone needs to be holding the wheel from turning. And then you're gonna be pressing down to open this. So as I'm doing this, your friend's gonna be fighting that wheel from spinning and the brake's gonna be helping him hold that wheel from spinning. So once you kind of break past that initial lock point or that glue point, the nut's gonna just come right off. And then you're gonna pull this off right here. So we're gonna show you. Before you get to the motor, naturally, you have to remove the skid plate. Depending on the type of skid plate you have, it's pretty straightforward to take off. You're gonna have 4 bolts to it. Mine, I'm running the Luna one. You're gonna start right here. You're gonna take this off. Now, mine dropped pretty easily, but on the other side, there's a bolt as well on the bottom. You're gonna release it. You're gonna loosen up these bolts right here. You don't have to fully take off the skid plate bolt, and it just drops down like so, right? Down to the side. Now you have 4 bolts to the motor before you can take it off. But before you do that, you wanna make sure you come over here. There's a cable inside of this boot. There's a zip tie here. Carefully cut the zip tie, take this bunch of connectors out, and then you're gonna look for the one that's going into the motor, right? So there's 2. One's going to the step down converter, which we're not gonna touch. Then you're looking at this motor one. So this cable right here goes into the Sur-Ron harness. You're gonna press this button, release it. Mine was easy because I've done it a bunch, but yours might be tough. Please, again, don't hold the wires, hold the plastic piece, pull it apart. So now we have the motor free from all the harness and it's only being supported by the bolts. Again, there's 4 bolts. The other side is removed. Right now we're gonna remove these 2 bolts on this side and the motor should drop down. So you wanna hold it right here and take it off. Don't forget to keep that square spacer. You're gonna need it. Right. So now you have all 4 bolts removed from the motor. The only thing holding the motor to the body is the belt. So you wanna lift up the motor and then just kind of wiggle the belt off and the motor will fall out. Ta-da! You have your motor out. So we have the OEM motor and then we have the Axon motor as well. You'll look over here and I have an aftermarket pulley on. Yours won't come with this, you won't have this. Your pulley will look just like this. If you're running a chain drive, you already know what to do, just pop it on like normal. But this pulley, it's very important that you install it correctly. There's a little cut inside the shaft. You wanna make sure that little key, you don't lose it. So when this pulley comes off, there's gonna be a little key, a little piece of metal that slides out and falls on the ground. Just make sure you hold on to that because you'll need it for the new one. When you slide it onto the motor, you're gonna put the pulley on, you're gonna tighten the nut. We're gonna ideally apply some Loctite, the blue colored one, to finalize things. But for now, we already have it on there. We're gonna tighten it when it's on the bike and the belt is on there so we have something to tighten it against. All right, so we're gonna supply you with 2 spacers to install the motor. On the belt side, you're gonna use the OEMs. On the belt side, you're gonna use the OEM spacers and connectors. On this side right here, you're just gonna add these 2 spacers. The thick one, see, look at this, thin one and thick one. Thick one is at the bottom, thin one is at the top over here. So kind of sits like this into your the bike. So as the motor sits into the frame, you'll notice this harness cable or this hall sensor is gonna go forward. It's gonna be sitting just like so, right here. Pretty heavy, so you'll need a friend for this. And then you're gonna have 2 spacers, the thick one and the thin one. Thick one goes on the bottom, thin one goes on top, just like so. So this goes back here, and this one sits right here. And that's how it gets put back together. Now, let's get installed. Don't go all the way in. Right there. Is it in? All right. All right, for this right here, what you wanna do is you wanna use where these teeth are all the way at the top and use this third most furthest out and put the spacer like so, right? So if I put the spacer in, I'm gonna put the bolt through it and show you how it sits and why you want it this way. Where's my bolt pad? So the reason you want it, because there's a little tooth in there that you could use to push this up and make the alignment of the belt have the proper tension. So it's a tensioner, and that's what it's for. So what you want to do is you're gonna have the long bolt and this spacer. Bolt goes right here, spacer goes behind it. You're gonna line it through. You're gonna tilt the motor up. I have to get on my back for this one. You're gonna have to lift the motor up, line it up, and then the bolt goes right in. All right, you don't want to over tighten it. That's good. Last bolt left. Let's go to the other side. So now you have all four. Now you have all four bolts installed properly. You have the belt down here. You want to make sure the way the belt sits on this pulley and the back pulley is in a straight line and not crooked or off. And the way you line that is making sure these are all tight and properly bolted up. So you tighten them all up, you make sure there's proper tension on the belt so it's not too tight, and you're done with the motor. All right, so what we want to do is take the controller. Don't mind this one. This one's been used and abused, so it's a little dirty. What we want to do is we want to connect the phase connectors. So the orientation is going to be blue, green, yellow. So we get the blue one first. All right, you're gonna come back to this boot, make sure everything's tucked inside. Yes, we zip tied it earlier, but we're gonna do a better job. So it's tucked in nicely. And you're gonna take this and make room for it in here. And then you're gonna raise up your skid plate. So what you're gonna do is this, and tighten it up by hand or use a tool. So there you go. Install the motor. You want to do it once over, make sure it's all done right. Perfect. If you run into any issues or if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. All our information is below. We're standing by to make sure that you're ready to go. Thanks again for purchasing Axon Racing.